What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Tuesday evening, and some of you guys have asked me about Frank Tufano's meat shares. You guys wanted to know what the Great One's opinion is about it. And I've checked out Frank's meat shares, and I've made some observations on it there that are quite concerning, and it's probably going to have the feds on his case there pretty soon. Now, in case you guys don't know what a meat share is, basically, uh, everyone gets together and, they buy a whole cow, they cut it up, you pay in advance for it, and you get the cuts from that actual cow itself. That's a general meat share. Saves a lot of money, and and most importantly, you get the highest quality, freshest meats out there. Now, here's a couple of things that I've noticed about his meat, Frankie's meat shares that is quite concerning. If you look at his beef share section, he's giving out 2 pounds of hot dogs, 2 pounds spice sausage, plain sausage, 2 pounds of scrapple, 2 pounds, 1 pound of plain snack sticks. I'm just reading over it. 1 pound of cheese snack sticks, 1 pound of breakfast sticks, 1 pound of beef bologna, one bone-in ribeye, and one porterhouse T-bone steak. And the issue I take with it is all of these products, except the bone-in ribeye and the porterhouse steaks, are pretty much adulterated, meaning that they've been cooked. Ingredients have been added to those meats here. Like, for example, scrapple. It's a pile of pork. It's a pile of mush, and it's mixed with things like buckwheat, for example. And I don't have to tell you about sausages and stuff like that. I mean, with the regular beef share, for example, you would have the expectation of getting, let's say, 10 pounds of ground beef, 1 pound sirloin steak, 3 pounds of rump roast, a pound of flat iron steak. We're talking about actual cuts of meat there that are not adulterated or anything like that, that have not been cooked, they've not been mixed with anything. That's the expectation as far as to what I would get from a meat share itself. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that's concerning. And that's the same case with his pork shares. He has 2 pounds of pork bologna, 2 pounds of pork sausage plain, liverwurst, breakfast sausage, Italian sausage. The only thing I see up here is a pound of ham, and maybe a pound of pork bacon. Again, these are cooked ingredients here. They have spices, they have other things that are mixed in with the meat itself there. They're not whole cuts of meat there, or so forth. They're all adulterated with ingredients and stuff like that. The only thing I actually saw was the chicken shares itself there, to where it looks like, three whole chickens that, none of this appears to be cooked or anything like that. I don't know. That's one thing. The biggest thing is ultimately the prices on these actual food shares itself there. Now, Frank is a really good salesman. I'll give him that itself there. But the thing about it is that, for the beef share itself, you're only getting like 14 pounds of meat. For that amount of money, I would expect at least 30 pounds of unadulterated meat. And you have to consider this is 14 pounds long, and if you also gotta, if you subtract all of the extra ingredients and stuff like that, that brings it down a little bit. Not only that, he has a pound of cheese snacks there, which is, that's another processed food. It's not, I don't really count that as meat there. I don't count it as an actual meat share itself there. And you got to spend $205 for just 14 pounds of processed and cooked meat, as opposed to what generally a meat share is. I've never seen anything like this as far as a meat share is concerned, if you want my honest opinion there. I've never seen anything like this before. If it's legal, that's perfectly fine. You know, that's something that Frank can discuss with the feds there. Which if you want my honest opinion, I think they're gonna come after him on that there. But let's say that they didn't at all there. I mean, if you take a look at exactly what you're getting as opposed to other companies, let me think of a couple. Fox Hollow, Butcher Block is one of those big ones. You know, they're selling whole cuts of meat. They're not processed. They're not cooked or anything like that. That's what a real meat shear is, in my opinion. Frank can call what he actually has as a meat shear, but in my honest opinion, it isn't, because all the stuff is cooked, it's been processed, it's got ingredients in it, and a meat shear really shouldn't have it. It should be just cuts of meat, nothing else. No adulteration, no flavors, no spices, no herbs, not the kernels, herbs and spices or anything like that. It should be straight up meat and that's it, you know. So he's selling for $205, 14 pounds of processed food there, you know. 14 pounds with the exception of the ribeye and stuff like that. Okay, that's at least a decent cut of meat there. But at the same time, you have to add it into sums because after all, it's a meat share, you know? Like I said before, I think the feds are going to come after him, but ultimately, I don't find this exactly as a great deal itself. Some of his customers may find it, you know, I definitely would never endorse or buy any of Frankie's meat shares whatsoever. I'd go to somebody else here. And believe me, I like meat shares. Meat shares, whenever I was doing it a long time ago, I don't eat that much meat nowadays because I'm 45 years old, but you know, meat shears was pretty good, and it was very convenient. I had a big freezer, I can put all the stuff in there. But you know, if I'm going to be buying processed things like sausage and stuff like that, I just go to a grocery store, you know. That's all I got to say right now. Like and subscribe to the Vince Goodrum channel. Click the link below. Don't forget to visit my website at vincegoodrum.com. Drop me a couple dollars or just check out all the extra content. Peace and soul.